Hi, my name is Thami Mbongo Manzana. As you know, Guti, obviously the artist that is very passionate about policy, governance, and accountability. Umandisi, Dr. DC want me today to share my views on a media statement that was recently released by the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture and Minister Keaton McKenzie around CCIFSA. As you know, there was a forensic investigation around expenditures of CCIFSA, which is Cultural and Creative Industry Federation of South Africa. And one of the findings was to say there is an amount of about 51.8 million. So Umandisi wanted to hear what are my views as someone that has been also part of CCIFSA on a provincial level. So ufika kamandi Umandisi when I'm finalizing the article that I'm going to share. You understand? So what I'm going to do, Mara Yabo, is to share what my take, you understand, using this article. So the first question that I'm asking in this article, who is CCIFSA and who must account for this 51.8 million? Yeah, you understand? Because I feel abaninzi by Tata espakatin without understanding. So without knowing the background, you want to know what is it that they are talking about. You understand? And the minister is taking it back, you understand, Amandisi, from 2014. We understand. So if it was CCIFSA go 2024, we understand you might be missing quite a lot of things. So in this article, I'm taking it back. We understand, asking question, who created CCIFSA? Who protected it? You understand? And who benefited from it? And who must now account? Those are very important things, you understand? So Mara masithathe back, you understand? I think in 2019, President Jacob Zuma, you understand, wakatharisha artists ezininzi across the country, various departments, you understand, engage status of what is happening in the cultural and creative industry, you understand? So from that discussion, you understand, what decided there needs to be, industry needs to be united. You understand, needs to come together. And then, interestingly, the deputy president, who is now, we understand, Mr. Paul Mashatile, the time a minister of arts and culture, we understand. And then, we make sure Uguti, la mandate be president Jacob Zuma, we implement. You understand? And how did he implement it? In 2014, we understand Deputy Minister Paul Mashatile at the time, Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, announced Mandisi interim committee. We understand CCIFSA. And this interim committee was given 5 million. So when we start to account, Masikale na nicho. Sing I kill this pagatin watin. We have so what announced interim committee, and it's there, it's online, this information, you understand? So if you're interested, I'm going to give you some of the names of the people that were appointed by the minister. We understand, so that we know ukuthi imibuzo impendulo funeka sizifumane kubani. We have amongst the names that were appointed by the minister, Uselo Galane, Bulelwa Pam, Mandla Balisa, Ramadan Suleiman, Fredi Nyatela, Silo Makekanyube, Poshia Masheho, Mokane Makeka, Vuisile Mshutulu, Dodo Monamoti, Florence Masebe, Andri Leroux, Mpo Molepo, Eugene Mtetwa, Joiti Maestri. We understand these were some of the, it's there in the public knowledge. We understand Paul Mashatile appointed these people. You understand they must lead the process. And then Paul Mashatile, if you remember, one mover, you understand, we minister, and then came in Minister Nathi Mthethwa. We understand who was in charge of the industry. We understand. So, and then there were new names that were added in the interim committee, you understand? I can't remember all of them, but the ones that I can remember now, it's people like, I know Paul Sibisi was part of that. I know Tony Khoroge joined this panel, and then Umanda Maseko, the senior, also joined this panel, you understand? So this interim committee was in charge of organizing a Bloemfontein CCIFSA conference. You understand? So the Bloemfontein CCIFSA conference had two status, right? It had one, the elective conference, and the two, it is a consultative conference. Consultative meant ukuti, we're going to discuss ukuti, what kind of a beast that we wanted this CCIFSA to become. Because there were a lot of people who were saying ukuti industry, inita, structures for SASCOC. We understand, you know, in soccer, you've got soccer, rugby, they all fall under SASCOC. And then abanye bati, we don't need to SASCOC, it's totally different. So in the consultative one, these were the things that we were meant to discuss, you understand? But because of political pressure and it ended up only focusing on elective conference. You understand? So Zanesi engage what kind of CCIFSA must be, and then Sipikisani be battle of the ideas. And then let's go through, you understand, because I want to deal with names. You understand who was elected in that conference. We have on president, it was Tony Khoroge. We understand. Deputy president, it was Ukobana Gazini, Yosimbizu Papa Pinipino, se parliament in Why deputy president of that era? Secretary General, it was Mr. Pemelo Sediti. Deputy Secretary, it was Zweli Banzim Takane. And then Treasurer General, it was Mali, Gutoto, Monomati. And then National Coordinator, young Andrea Tondor from Western Cape. You understand? Please note, we have Tony Khoroge was part of the interim committee. You understand who became the president. Treasurer General, Toto Munati, you understand, was part of that interim committee. And he became the national treasurer. You understand? Remember those names, right? And then, God believe CCIFSA must be also aligned with the sectors. At the time, I think there were about 9 sectors. We understand. I'm going to come back into a sector because we're dealing with 17 now. Ne? At the time, there were about, I think, 9. There was arts, education, and training, which was led by Mahlubi Kral, the late Mahlubi Kral was in Northwest. And then there was visual arts and craft. It was led by Masejo Moilo, was in Northern Cape. And then there was natural and cultural heritage. We understand that was led by Hans Kanye. And then there was audiovisual, that was led by Pinky Tunywa, was Eastern Cape. And then there was performance and celebration, which was led by Vuyokazi Meslane from Western Cape. And then there was arts and culture and technical services, Ustembiso Kumalo. There was design and creative, Yang Usbusiso Mabuza from Mpumalanga. And then there was language and publish, Untabiseng Jafta. And then there was indigenous wisdom. We understand Eyalitwa Uzuko, Ndo Nzima, Eastern Cape. We understand? So that was the leadership. We understand? So I said, when Minister Caitlin Mackenzie wants the answers, we understand? I said to go to the starting point, Mandisi, we understand, is to get accountability at 5 million. We interim. And then, the beautiful thing, it might be beautiful or ugly, depends how you look at it. The interim committee, Mandisi, when they came in, they made sure Kuti department commit a certain funding for the next 3 years for this structure in CCIFSA. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 15 million or something. You understand? That was given to say Kuti, not this thing, the current sectors. The current sector just given 2 million each year. CCIFSA was given, by the time we go to Bloemfontein, kune amount of 15 million that for the next 3 years, we understand that implementing this thing. So it's important for this particular leadership that I was naming, who was involved nationally, you understand? Babizo Minister Caitlin Mackenzie, ababuze uguti in your tenure, what has happened? uyabo kwenzeke intoni ngalamali. You understand? And then the second thing, you understand, I've been following abantu kabe discussing CCIFSA. You understand? CCIFSA is mostly protected in provinces. It's not meant to be like that. You understand? Because imali yabo I see what we provinces, iya we national. And what minister is talking about this amount imali that is coming from national department. You understand? I can't, like for example, I was in the first leadership. You understand, as a coordinator. Yes, a Western Cape. We understand, a provincial coordinator. But the province were not given any funding. We understand, to do any work in the provinces. So it will be interesting to find out from the national leadership as millions beziyaphi kanye kanye. So andithengisi bantu uyabo. But I'm just saying it will be nice to engage with the national leadership. And then another important thing, Mandis, that I want to say, when Minister Nathi Mthethwa came to the office, Minister Nathi Mthethwa did not want anything to hear anything with industry without saying, talk to CCIFSA. Practitioners will come and engage department, talk to CCIFSA. We understand. Even senior management, zase DSEC, ne officials. We understand how some engage nazo ngezinto ze industry. Don't talk to us, talk to CCIFSA. So when minister wants accountability, we understand that around CCIFSA, funeka kale kwi office yakhe. We understand that because there were so many management, senior management, and officials at department who protected CCIFSA like nobody's business. It's said, the minister said what it, but they protected CCIFSA like nobody's business. So it will be unfair for the industry or for the sector to only attack, we understand, the leadership of CCIFSA and not take away a department. And then I saw in the report, the minister is saying, Dr. Cynthia Khumalo, you understand, I must investigate. It's important for the sector to remember, Dr. Cynthia Khumalo joined the department in July 2020. We understand. So it will be interesting to find out, investigation, when they to find out from 2014, we understand, up until 2020, we understand, and now you figure, I stop. It's Minister Kate McKenzie who came and asked questions about the CCIFSA. We understand that because in the previous minister, Minister Nathi Mthethwa, the same Director General was not asking so many questions. If she was asking so many questions, we are not aware about that. We understand. So from 2020, the time of Fikayo, how much was given to CCIFSA? We understand. And then Sizobona naye irole yakhe as a Director General, ukuthi wenze ntoni uyistopile le mess okanye akayistopanga le mess. So in my take, there are a lot of people that are implicated. We understand that leadership, and then that leadership, we understand that did anything change? We understand akukho izinto ezininzi ezachinjayo, right? And then let's move on, Mara, before Sivali. And then there was another conference here, CCIFSA. Which was in Mpumalanga, this was the second CCIFSA national conference, right? And then this one elected the following people. President, it was Joy Bewana, and then Deputy President, it was Johannes Msomi. Secretary General, it was Ayanda Hoda. Deputy Secretary General, it was Anele Maki, the late. Treasurer General, it was Mangaliso Chula. And then National Coordinator, it was Lusuko Koshi. And then Arts, Education and Training, it was, I think, Ekalen Meneze mistake to be say, irreposale, we understand, I did not call as Zaliwewatin, as a girl, so magnificent. Earlier leadership in 2019, arts, education and training, being Mahlubi Kral, and then visual arts, being Masheho Maile, natural and cultural heritage, Hans Konye, and then audiovisual, Pinky Tunya, and then performance celebration, and then arts, culture, and technical, it was Tembiso Kumalo, and then design and creative, so Mabusa, language, in being Tabising, and then Uzuko. Because I've made a mistake, Mara, kwenzela kungathiwa sibize abantu abarongo, you understand? In that leadership ka Tony, the first one, I think, is sector rep, sizibize wrong, you understand? Nasi sector rep. It's sector rep party, the provider is sector rep. So in closing, we understand, I think the first people who must account or go to what has happened in CCIFSA, it's the national leadership, those people who serve in the national leadership. From the interim committee up until the last one, we understand. Secondly, the officials that were serving in the department must account or go to because there's no way, as you know, Mandis, when you are funded by the department, you get the first tranche and you can't get the second tranche without a proper reporting. So what happened to the proper reporting? We understand. And the interesting thing, some of the people that served in the CCIFSA, we understand, are still serving in very influential structures across the country. And they are still getting the funding. The people that are advising minister about the 17th sector are the same people that were advising the same ministers about the CCIFSA. We understand. Amongst the 17 sectors, you've got so many CCIFSA people that are serving in these clusters. We have same officials that were reporting and were getting a report are the same. So are we going to see this thing in the next minister? The next minister questioning Uguti, what did Gaten McKenzie? Only time will tell. Thank you.